present our study. But before starting this presentation, let me introduce the researchers of Group 5. I am Hani Amricalef, the leader, and here are my co-researchers.
Alyssa May Di Castro, Jesselyn Nobleza, Frageline Rogelio, Mark Lawrence Lampas, and Giancarlo Plata.
This study is about exploring students' in-depth learning difficulties in problem-solving mathematics of the selected students of grade 11 STEM students. The main objective of the study is to teach the students to study hard so that they can fully understand about problem-solving mathematics.
Researchers study about this topic because they are also experiencing difficulties in learning problem-solving mathematics as a STEM student at Landi National High School.
Problem solving is a big part in our life, not only in mathematics, but also in our daily living. Problem solving helps students to challenge their mathematical understanding and to fully understand it. It is necessary to apply it properly. Many students in the Philippines say that mathematics is the most difficult subject, especially when it comes to problem solving. A big question, especially for some students, is how they face this kind of problem. However, why are STEM students grappling with this problem that should be simple for them? Especially because their strand is STEM that focuses more on mathematics. According to Ahan Ali, December 25, 2018, students find difficulty in math problem solving because of lack of practice, focused problem teaching methods.
This study aims to answer the following questions. 1. What are the students' bases to conclude that mathematics is the most challenging subject in STEM? 2. What are the students need to improve their skills in problem solving in mathematics? 3. How do the students find their ways to get through the difficulties in problem solving in mathematics?
This study is supposed to benefit with the following. To Landi National High School students, it can give them awareness with their coping strategies to the difficulties they are experiencing in problem solving. In mathematics, it can help the students to excel in any difficult academic platform. To the teachers, it can give significant plan to the educators to improve the teaching learning process in mathematics and how it can be implemented so the teachers embrace its use. To the family of the students, this can give awareness to them about their children and what challenges their children encounter in school. For them to know what could be the self-discipline and self-motivation that they could apply to their children. To the government and educational institutions, they can give a certain methods, interventions, or solutions for every educational institution as well as the government in providing assistance to students, parents, and teachers who are having difficulties in the new learning modality.
The next chapter presents literature in reading taken from the books, journals, and related websites from the internet. It will serve as the basis of study exploring students' in-depth learning difficulties in problem-solving mathematics of selected students at Landi National High School. This includes the reason and effect of difficulties in problem-solving mathematics. This will also present the synthesis of the study.
STEM education-related studies. Education is a process of changing attitude through individual learning. Education primarily aims to create well-educated citizens who can compete on a worldwide scale for pupils. 3. Education is a key component in developing human resources. Future predictions call for STEM integration as a suitable learning strategy. According to study of Hofstein and Luneta and Fadel, students should be able to demonstrate 21st century talents like strong academic performance, problem-solving skills, cooperation, innovation, and creativity. Most of the senior high school students experiencing difficulties in learning mathematics, especially that it is not familiar when they are in junior high school. Due to the self-learning for almost 3 years, the teachers did not expecting their student to have a huge knowledge about mathematics. The role of those teachers in preparing children for
Solving related studies. According to Corinne and Husama, 2018, problem solving is a process of finding a solution to achieve certain goals. Both routine and non-routine problems can be solved through problem solving, which is a planned procedure that must be followed. Students are taught problem-solving techniques to help them identify solutions to specific arithmetic problems and select the most acceptable ones. Systematically, the three values of utilitarian, logical, and aesthetic can be used to demonstrate the significance of problem solving. Over the past few decades, there has been an increase in the development of teacher preparation programs all over the world. According to the National Council for Accreditation of Teachers' Education, there are two components that prove critically important in teachers' preparation. Teacher knowledge of the subject to be taught, the knowledge and skill in teaching that subject. Cockcroft, 1982, describes problem solving as being at the heart of mathematics education, emphasizing the importance of students developing problem solving skills. The students do their best to learn about mathematics even though mathematics even though they know that they have a small knowledge about problem solving of mathematics.
The researchers therefore conclude that STEM students experiencing difficulties when it comes to problem solving in mathematics. According to data findings, it showed that most of the STEM students lack in many mathematics skills such as number pack, visual, spatial, and information skills. The deficiency of these mathematics skills and also of cognitive abilities in learning inhibits the mathematics problem solving. Mathematics is more difficult than other subjects. The researchers have found related reviews regarding the difficulties of STEM students when it comes to problem solving. The aforementioned RRL will help the researcher to have basis and information about the study.
Qualitative research is used by the researcher according to the Criswell 1994. Qualitative research is a comprehensive method that includes discovery. Qualitative research is non-numerical and descriptive. It focuses on the students' personal thoughts, opinions, and experience. This research study falls under the phenomenology study.
At Landing National High School. The said area was chosen for a reason of having a pandemic and also for being all students of the said area. Moreover, the researcher also noticed that there are some issues related to the study. The study targeted the selected students of grade 11 STEM to know their own experience, perception, and option regarding difficulties in problem solving in mathematics, especially in pre-calculus and general mathematics.
This study highly embraced and practiced high ethical considerations. The anonymity of the participants was strictly observed through the use of identifier or pseudonym. The purpose of the study, its procedures, and outcomes were clearly explained to the participants. It was emphasized that participation in this study is purely voluntary and no monetary compensation involved. Permission from the school principal was also secured. Parental consent allowing the participants to be part of this research was also required. An informed consent was signed by the participant of the study.
Chapter 4: Presentation, Analysis, and Interpretation of Data. Discussion. Table 1. The student's basis for concluding that mathematics is the most challenging subject in STEM. Essential themes. Basis of the students for concluding that mathematics is the most challenging subject in STEM. Categories. Lessons that are most difficult. and time spent in answering. Thematic statements for the first category. Solving various worded problems in general math is the one I found to be the most challenging. For me, here in our first year in senior high school, the hardest for me is trigonometry. Algebra, because algebra contains variables and syllables that will confuse you. Thematic statements for the second category. I spend an hour on a math assignment because I need to analyze it first before answering it. It depends on the worded problem. If it is harder, it takes a lot longer, but if it is only solving equations, it's a lot quicker. 1 hour. Mathematical problem solving is possibly one of the hardest subjects in every grade levels. But mathematics is also a fun subject for many. Problem solving in mathematics is one of the exercises that teachers give to their students. Thanks to these, students are able to enhance their skills in analyzing and understanding the problem. Their interests and motivations in learning more and improving more are the things that help them continue to fully understand the subject. In my study, the skills and improvements refer to the ones that each student aims to achieve. Each student aims to improve their skills in mathematical problem solving, to earn higher marks in their academics, and reach their future goals in life. First lesson, lessons that are most difficult. Each mathematical lesson has their own difficulty, whether it is easy, average, or difficult. In every lesson, students have their own way of understanding the lessons taught to them by their teachers. Each student tries hard to fully understand the questions and equations of each lesson. They read each lesson thoroughly. Through this and other exercises, they are able to understand the lessons. But despite this, there are also other students who try hard but still can't fully understand the lessons. Solving various word problems in general math is one I found to be the most challenging. For me, here in our first year in senior high school, the hardest for me is trigonometry. Algebra, because algebra contains variables and symbols that will confuse you. According to the responses from 3 of the students that were interviewed, they have their own struggles in different lessons in mathematics. I also noted that the other respondents said almost the same thing, but they didn't say that it was not understandable. Having these informations proves that many students struggle in mathematics. Others also believe that mathematics is a torture towards their minds. In the case of the respondents, they had essentials that were able to help them understand the lessons in every lesson, such as their phones, laptops, and their tutors. Time spent in answering. Time is also important in answering mathematics. Time helps them deeply understand the lessons that were taught to them so that they can get the correct answers of the homeworks given to them by their teachers. And by giving time to understand the past lessons and recapping the ways to answer the questions, the students are able to ace their exams. That's why time in answering is mostly needed by the students. I spent an hour on a math assignment because I need to analyze it first before answering. It depends on the worded problem. If it is harder, it takes a lot longer. But if it is only solving equations, it's a lot quicker. 1 hour. I spend a short time for mathematics than the other subjects. With the use of calculator, I am able to solve the mathematical equations in a short time, but without it, it takes 3 to 4 minutes. According to 2 of the respondents, it takes them an hour to answer a mathematical problem. According to them, they want to fully understand the questions so that they can assure that they will get the answer correctly and that they will be able to explain how they got the answers in case their teacher asks them. Meanwhile, one respondent has a different answer. In her answer, she says that the time she spends on answering depends on the mathematical problem. If the questions are worded problems, It takes a long time since she needs to analyze the questions. But if it is only an equational problem where the calculator is only needed, it only takes her 4 to 5 minutes in answering. The same goes to another respondent that says she spent 3 to 4 minutes on answering a mathematical problem if he has no calculator to use. One respondent didn't mention the exact time that she spent on answering, but she also mentioned that she has more time spent only on answering mathematical equations.
Students have many different ways to improve their skills in mathematical problem solving. The people they ask for help and the activities they do to improve their skills are the ones that fully help and trains them to fully improve their skills in mathematical problem solving. Many students get excited whenever they see improvements on themselves through a lot of learning and understanding the problems and equations on the lessons that they have learned. As can be seen from the chart above, 4 out of the 5 respondents concur that studying the lessons and analyzing them helps them get better at solving mathematical problems. They all use the same techniques for doing so, which focus on comprehension, memorization, and analysis. Some of the respondents don't think math is very engaging subject as pupils develop and learn. Although this is the case, students are not the less motivated to advance their capacity for solving problem mathematical puzzles in order to graduate and fulfill their potential. Their access to possibilities and difficulties serves as a bridge for skill development. They improve their ability to solve mathematical issues by thoroughly understanding them and seeking assistance from their parents, friends, and classmates. If young students continue to practice these exercises they have suggested, they will better, more adept at solving problem mathematics. Every student faces different difficulties in problem solving in mathematics, but it's good to know that the respondents that we interviewed were able to have copying mechanisms and ways to get through the difficulties in this subject. Each student has their own ways to through those difficulties, like asking for help from others, getting tutored by someone more knowledgeable, or trying to understand it through the internet. Through this, the students improve their skills in mathematical problem solving.
This chapter presents the summary findings that answer the specific problems in Chapter 1, where conclusions are crafted from the result of findings and the recommendations suggested by the researchers. Summary of findings. The main goal of this study was to determine why grade 11 STEM were having trouble addressing problems. The researchers observed the conduct and approach to skill observation. The STEM students in grade 11 at Landi National High School were the indeed responders for this study. The majority of the respondents to the researchers' questionnaire regarding their struggle with mathematical problem solving cited a lack of time due to the requirement for detailed formula analysis. The primary goal of the study, which is a component of our research, is to determine what aspect of problem-solving skills pupils need to work on. It was quite difficult to conduct an interview regarding this topic, despite the fact that we could only speak with the respondent when they had spare time.
Conclusion. As a conclusion, we would want to state with confidence that mathematics is an important subject in everyone's life. Because there are so many various ways to approach a math problem. It allows one to approach challenge with an open mind. It gives us the ability to keep an open mind about the issues we encounter in our daily lives. And it is essential to everyone. The mathematical answer or solution are carefully and critically examined in this project report to ascertain their applicability to the context of the real world in which the challenge was posed. According to our research, this scenario presents the most frequent problem for grade 11 students. According to the responses, mathematics has several subfields, including algebra, geometry, statistics, and calculus. One of them is to memorize and comprehend the formula in order to understand the mathematical problem. The findings suggest that there is an approach that, at some time, can assist pupils in resolving their problems. It might be the most challenging and dull one for some of us, but in such case, learning is more effective during the developmental period.
Recommendations. The researcher recommends that the future researcher will conduct another study with the same subject, considering the difficulties in problem-solving mathematics of STEM strand. As per a problem does not go out clearly, subject teacher can help students who did not understand the lesson that is given for. In addition, it will be able to enhance the learning skills to go through, increase the level of knowledge, should be given unnecessary resource materials to train by memorizing and understanding the problem of situation. Always give a clear explanation for clearly understand. As help to a student that had a high difficulty on solving mathematical problem. Must be able to train and have a mentor to develop. It is strong advisable for those students who had a highly difficulty in terms of mathematical problem.